All right, let's start out light and then we'll get heavy with this update. Let's start with Jay Wrigley, KetoDoc CLT on Twitter. He says, "The body is designed as a self-preservation mechanism. Do not expect to make substantial progress in fat loss or inflammatory conditions if the body is responding to mental, emotional, chemical, or physical stress. It's not going to release stored energy until it feels safe to do so." It's true that being stressed will make it more difficult to lose weight because I think the eating drive is increased, and that's been shown in preclinical studies at least. And probably, I think I would not be surprised if in humans as well. Stress probably enhances the desire to eat in many people, maybe also decreases in other people. Nonetheless, it's the way he said this. It's very Deepak Chopra-esque. It's not like you're not going to be able to lose weight if you have any stress. It's designed as a self-preservation mechanism. It's not going to release stored energy until it does so. It's just woo-woo. It's mostly harmless and it's nonsense. So we're going to put that on that list. And so let's move on to something a little bit more disturbing. 5050 says, "Heard low carbers say they can stay in the sun without getting burned, related to not eating vegetable oils. I'm low carb, of English, Irish, Scots, German, and Scandinavian ancestry. Here's me after 3 days at the beach, plus an hour at the pool swimming today. Some red, but I'm comfortable. Keto sunburn theory may be valid." And here's a picture of him, bright red, neon red, looking almost like a lobster. Okay, it doesn't look like he's avoided sunburn. It looks like he's extremely sunburned. But, okay, fine. You know, if he thinks that being keto is going to keep him being sunburned even when he's bright red, he can think that. That's fine. But the problem is that this gets a little more dangerous as we keep going down this rabbit hole. Here's a recent tweet by John Nettlefold, and he's responding to 5050, right? He says, "I try to spend some time shirtless in the sun early afternoon for D, vitamin D, I'm guessing. Still treat the sun with respect and don't push it, but I certainly notice I can spend more time out. I have melanoma. My doctors want me to cover. I disagree that the sun is the cause. Zero seed oils for the win." So this is where things become more disturbing, because now people are having melanoma and they're continuing to get sun exposure. I've had melanoma, and that was during a period of heavy sun exposure, maybe the heaviest of my life, and suddenly I got melanoma. Not to say that that necessarily proves it. It doesn't. A whole bunch of other research proves it, but that's fine. The problem is this is a widespread view in this community, and now we're going to get to some of Ken Berry's brilliant work where he talks about this. So let's start with this, where he says, "Melanoma rates continue to rise across the planet despite sun avoidance and sunscreen." Maybe it's the diet, suggesting that maybe sunscreen and sunlight aren't important. Maybe it's the diet, maybe it's the seed oils. And so maybe you don't need sunscreen. Am I maybe being unfair to Ken Berry? Maybe he would never say such a thing. Actually, he did say such a thing. He said on May 26th, he said, "The best place to put your sunscreen is in the garbage." On July 17th, he says, "Is sunscreen a chemical factory actually safer? Is sunscreen made in a chemical factory actually safer than playing in the sun like we have from the beginning?" Oh, wow. And then so he says, November 2018, he says, "Despite public perception that scientific evidence that sunscreen prevents sun cancer is controversial." 2011, probably cherry-picked article. And then he says, 2019, he says, "Sun safe means getting a lot of good sun and avoiding both sunscreen and burning." So along with these other guys, he's suggesting that eating a low-carb diet and avoiding seed oils is going to prevent melanoma. And there's no evidence for this, and this is dangerous. Super dangerous. And I feel very bad for people who are following this advice. Let us continue. So here's another thing. WebMD is going to get dinged for this as well, because this is also nonsensical. And then Ken Berry's response to WebMD is also nonsensical. It's all nonsense. So WebMD says, "You know, sweet potatoes like carrots have beta carotene in your body that turns to vitamin A, which mops up damaging free radicals. This helps bolster the immune system and may even improve the aging process." There's no evidence that eating a sweet potato is going to improve the aging process. Of course, not being deficient in vitamin A will help your immune system, and it will help not age as fast, because vitamin A has a very important role in or at least avoiding vitamin A deficiency has an important role in avoiding aging, or excessively fast aging. But most people are going to be vitamin A sufficient, and most people aren't going to be experiencing rapid aging as a result of vitamin A deficiency. Sweet potatoes aren't going to be improving the aging process for people, and this is nonsensical pseudoscience from WebMD. Clickbait as well. And so Ken Berry responds with his own nonsensical pseudoscience clickbait. He says, did you know that 27 grams of carbohydrate in a sweet potato, 53% starch, cancels any benefit of the beta carotene when only a small percentage of which is converted into vitamin A? And then he says, this does not help the immune system improve aging. Well, so he's basically saying like having carbohydrate basically negates the effect of having vitamins. There's no evidence that carbohydrate is harmful in any way. This is just nonsense from Ken Berry, and it's very sad that he promotes this kind of thing. This is going to fall into the mostly harmless category, the possibly harmful category, because he's promoting a fad diet. And if you actually follow Ken Berry's fad diet recommendations, you actually will put your health at risk, because you will be ignoring cardiovascular disease risk, and you'll be following all sorts of other pseudoscience and continuing going down the pseudoscience rabbit hole the more you follow his advice. So that is going to be possibly harmful. And that concludes with today. So I'm going to put Ken Berry on for his sunscreen nonsense, which I consider very dangerous. I'm going to put Ken Berry on for this carbohydrate nonsense, which is possibly dangerous. I'm going to put WebMD on for this sweet potato stuff, which is ridiculous. And I'm going to put Jay Wrigley on for the statement, this Deepak Chopra-esque statement about the body feeling safe to release energy. And that's it for today's update. Thanks for watching.